As we head into March, it looks like we're going to need a miracle March. Looking at these numbers from the statewide snow survey, the third one of the year, it started off with epic snow, 202% of normal December 30th, down to 109% February 1st, all the way down to 68% today at Phillips Station. And the statewide numbers also reflecting that big drop off as well. And unfortunately, as far as our statewide issues, you can see our averages at about 59% for the Northern Sierra and Trinity Basin, Central Sierra 66%, and the Southern Sierra at 63% of average. We just haven't seen the rain and snow come in for January and February. In fact, the 2-month overall for January and February, the driest on record for the Sierra. And unfortunately, that supplies a third of the state's water needs. It was looking really promising here on January 1st, but you can see with these images here how much we've lost in snowpack over the entire Central Sierra spine. And unfortunately, that extends all the way into extreme northern California as well. Precipitation totals were looking promising as well. Earlier this year, we were above average, and we stayed there for Sacramento and San Francisco, but many areas already dropping below average, most notably right along the northwest coast here, stretching through Redding, now at about 8.5 inches below where we should be this time of the season. Keep in mind, January and February tend to be our wettest and snowiest months of the year, but instead of tracking records with snowfall and rain, we're tracking dry conditions. So for the dry streak, as of today, 52 days and counting, that's going to tie that record set back in 2013, 2014. If we make it to midnight, that's going to be our 53rd day, and it's very likely we could stretch it to almost 55 days here. Again, January, one of the driest on records. In 2022, we had only 5/100ths of an inch of rain. That puts us at number 2, just behind 2015. That was right in the middle of that historic drought from 2012 to 2016. And now we're following up with February being the driest on record as well, tying the 2020 record here of no measurable rain for downtown Sacramento. Other areas saw just a little sprinkle, a trace, so that at least put something in the bucket. But for downtown Sacramento, nothing. And that's leading to the drought concerns that are continuing to grow. You can see the comparisons here. We stayed pretty steady through February 17th, and then the last drought monitor showing extreme drought now starting to cover parts of the northwest corner of the state. That's very likely going to expand as we head into this new Thursday drought outlook. Now, as far as our reservoir capacity, it is starting to deteriorate as well. We're anywhere from about 35 to almost 60% full, which puts us roughly at about 50 to just around 100% of average. Keep in mind, Shasta is our biggest reservoir for the state, so that one's going to fluctuate a little bit less than, say, Folsom, much smaller, and that will see some up and down movement a little bit quicker as we start to get some of that snow melt coming down, which starts right around April 1st. But unfortunately, with some of the warm conditions we've seen, we have started to see a trickle of that snow melt already. As far as our up and down rain pattern, we started off with record rain in October, back to dry conditions in November. Looked like things were really starting to pick up in December, nearly 7 inches of rain in Sacramento, and then everything absolutely flattened out. No storm tracks coming in, and then those atmospheric rivers just dodged us, going all the way up into Canada. Now, as far as our next weather system coming in for Friday and Saturday, getting about 1/10 of an inch of rain to 1/2 an inch. The reason why this is so significant is it could stop that dry stretch record at about 54, 55 days, depending on when that rain starts. If it's just before midnight on Thursday, then we'll cap that record. But if it goes into Friday, then we'll add one more day to it. As far as our snowfall coming in, about 4 to 18 inches of snow sure would be nice here. This is going to be about it, though. We get this one weather system that just slides along the coast here, but it's Friday and Saturday that we actually have that better chance of rain and snow coming in. Now, as we move deeper into the forecast, as far as a miracle March, it's looking unlikely because we would need to keep that consecutive here with about every 2 to 3 days a weather system rolling through northern and central California. But it looks like that storm track is going to benefit more the Pacific Northwest than it will for much of California, with a drier than average forecast ahead for the long range outlook.